FK Tech here. Let it be known that this has happened before you round up an irate mob and take up pitchforks in protest of the newest instance of engine downsizing, the 2023 Mercedes-AMG C43's replacement of a twin-turbo V6 with a Turbo 4. Although the new C43 uses a north-south layout, AMG has been making four-cylinder engines since 2013 and installing them transversely in vehicles like the compact GLA, CLA, and A-Class. The elegant 190e sedan, which was a direct descendant of the C43, had 2.3 and 2.5-liter versions equipped with 16-valve cylinder heads designed by Cosworth in the 1980s, and Mercedes even made a four-cylinder performance derivative of it. In contrast to the new C43's turbocharged 2.0-liter 4, which unleashes 402 horsepower, the February 5, 16 produced 195 horsepower. Then it has to be better than twice as good, doesn't it? The previous generation C43's 3.0-liter twin-turbocharged V6 engine was largely superseded by the new engine. Its peak output is higher than its predecessors, despite a decrease in torque to 369 pound-feet, thanks to an advanced electrically assisted turbocharger, which compensates for the loss of cylinders and capacity without sacrificing power. Garrett Motion's turbo incorporates a small electric motor that operates directly on the shaft, sandwiched between the turbine and the compressor. It has the potential to spin at 170,000 RPM and adds 6 kilowatts of assistance, according to the manufacturer. It can also briefly extract energy from gas flow, but only a tiny amount. A 48-volt starter generator that is integrated into the belt provides more regen and can provide modest levels of assistance at lower speeds. To help decrease response delay, the turbo's e-motor enables boost to build even in the absence of exhaust gas flow. Even when you lift the throttle in the C43's more extreme dynamic modes, the blades will continue to spin. It's like a battery-operated take on the pop-bang anti-lag, which turns rally cars into a gun range. Instead of a torque converter, the 9-speed automatic transmission makes use of a wet clutch, just like the more powerful AMG versions. As a standard feature, the all-wheel drive system comes with adaptive dampers, rear-wheel steering, and a permanent torque split of 31:69. The new C43 has a more advanced engine than the old one, but it lacks the charm of the old one. While some of the pops and chuckles heard when the accelerator is lifted are artificially enhanced by the sound system, the exhaust note is perfectly in keeping with a powerful four-cylinder engine. However, it is noticeably quieter than earlier AMG models, even under heavy pressure, and it becomes almost unnoticeable when traveling at a leisurely pace. The electric turbo barely registers as a contributing factor. As the turbo builds boost even at low speeds, even when the engine is turning slowly, an enhanced induction whine may be audible. The throttle responds cleanly and without lag when pushed harder. There is no lag whatsoever, not even when quickly applying the gas after taking off. The new engine has a boosted booster, but it still isn't very enthusiastic about revving. Our rental car in France shifted 500 RPM short of the 7,000 RPM redline while still in drive, having hit its spark cut limiter just before the marked redline. Manual downshifts requested with the steering wheel paddles were met with a discernible pause, despite the Autobox's intelligent and smooth gear swaps. The C43, however, is both very quick and dynamically secure. Even under heavy acceleration, the engine never felt jittery or unsteady thanks to its linear responses and impenetrable traction. Even with the new car's launch control system, AMG's claimed 4.6 seconds to 60 miles per hour is likely optimistic, considering that we managed to accelerate the previous V6 C43 coupe to 60 miles per hour in 4.1 seconds. The new C43 felt eager to turn in tighter corners, thanks to the lighter engine's reduced front-end mass. Even though the overall weight hasn't been significantly reduced, the manufacturer claims this C43 weighs a porky 3,900 pounds. As expected from an AMG, the the steering is responsive and gives you more low-level feedback than a standard C-Class, with even more forceful weighting when you apply lock. Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, which were mounted on our test vehicle, demonstrated exceptional traction in both dry and wet roads. The C43 is one of those vehicles that sticks and goes, so even in tighter corners, there was no sign of rear-led handling balance, even though there was a bias toward the rear axle. Even though our test vehicle was mounted on the biggest 20-inch wheels available, the ride was still firm at low speeds regardless of the drive mode that was controlling the adjustable dampers. In comparison to its more roadier and thrilling AMG forebears, the C43's dynamic qualities were more in line with those of an Audi S4. The C43 appears to be making way for the stronger C63, which will use a hybrid system and a more potent 2.0-liter engine, in due course. Beyond the obvious financial benefit, though, this stripped-down model still has a lot going for it. There is a high level of standard technology and a well-finished cabin, just like the regular C-Class. Owners will surely become used to the most frequently used features, including the addition of a physical AMG shortcut button to access the dynamic settings, but the MBUX operating system, which powers the large 12.3-inch portrait-oriented central touchscreen, and the steering wheel's requirement for 4 spokes plus 2 round binnacles to accommodate all of its controls are not the most user-friendly. The gear selector is on the right side of the wheel, and the combined wiper and turn signal stalk is on the left. This is an odd ergonomic decision because both controls are mirrored and share the same shape. Anyone accustomed to the old stock layout is sure to be confused by this. The C43's performance hasn't suffered because of the switch to its smaller engine, but it hasn't improved either. The 6-cylinder BMW M340i xDrive, with its bigger and more distinctive engine, is its main rival. While the C43's power output surpasses that of the BMW, the question and answers, with its smaller engine, remains unanswered, at least on this side of the Atlantic. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.